I can tell you to the moment when my life changed. It was sitting in my living room watching the Nuremberg trials on television and having the show interrupted by the March on Selma, Alabama. And it showed pictures of policemen riding through the crowds with cattle prodders, giving people electric shocks. And I sat there and cried my eyes out and said, what is the difference between Nazi Germany and what is the difference between what's going on in my country today? And I sat there for hours thinking, if I lived in Germany at that time, would I have closed my eyes and pretended that nothing was going on? Would I have become involved in the community? Would I have accepted it? What would I have done? And challenged myself and said, what am I doing about what's going on now? Am I pretending these things aren't going on? Changed my life completely. And when the riots in 1967 hit, Father Cunningham and I came together like that. I was a suburban housewife, living a very, very comfortable life, raising 5 children. Very happy with my life. Father Cunningham was an English professor, teaching at Sacred Heart Seminary. We came together and said, what are we going to do? My husband and I sold our home, moved into an integrated neighborhood, just a few blocks from where they were rioting just a short time before, because I wasn't going to ask anyone to do anything I wouldn't do myself. Now, my mother hired an attorney to take my 5 children away from me. My father-in-law disowned us. My brother-in-law asked me to please use my maiden name so I wouldn't embarrass the family. Friends that we once had just said, you're out of your mind, I don't know what you're doing, goodbye. It was a time of testing, but I've never once looked back. Now, my mother-in-law never did accept us, withdrew all of the gifts. My children haven't received a Christmas gift or a birthday gift in years. They've only been to our home once in the last 5 times in the last 29 years. But I'm sorry for that, but that's not lack of love, that was understanding, and I can only have sympathy for them. My mother, she changed very quickly. She became probably my strongest supporter, but she changed because my father had Parkinson's disease and he used to wander away from the house. And there was this kind lady that used to pick him up and bring him back home. And my mother became very good friends with this woman. And she said, won't you please come over to my house and have dinner and bring your family? And she did. And my mother went to open the door, and here's the lady standing there with her husband, who was black. And my mother was confronted with this immediately, changed. That was the end of that. Never another discussion. Support. My brother-in-law now thinks I'm the greatest thing that ever walked the earth. I get hugs and kisses from him all the time. I think the moral of the story is you don't know where your life's going to take you. You don't know where your journey's going to go. But if you go with your mind and your heart open, you are always going to find an opportunity. You're going to find some little kid who says to you, if I get all A's, will you come back again? You're going to find an opportunity. You're going to go into a senior's home someday, and some senior's going to throw their arms around you and say, oh, thank God you came today. I've had nothing. I need you. I support you. No matter where you go, you are going to find somebody. But I want you to do one thing for me, just one thing. I want you to help build a society where we celebrate diversity. I want to celebrate the gifts that we all bring to the world in which we live. That's what it's going to take, folks. I don't have a worry in the world that Joe White and Noel Tichy and Graham Mercer are going to make you the most gifted men on the planet. But what I want from you is please your heart. Open up your heart for all the opportunities. This good man that you've met before, and you're going to meet again, Bob Nolan, Listen to me.